I've been meaning to draw your attention to this. What now isn't so much of a news, because it's been out there for a week or two, about Australian federal government planning to cancel the $100 note. So I'm just going to quickly read you out ArmstrongEconomics.com blog. The Australian federal government is planning a full assault on the black or underground economy, but by appointing a task force who will consider the future of $100 note and bans on cash payments over a certain level. Australia, like everyone else, is facing a monetary crisis whereby the current system of taxes and social programs with pensions are colliding and will simply collapse. This idea of perpetual borrowing cannot be sustained. Instead of reforming the system, they prefer to attack the people. As always, we are just the enemy, says Martin Armstrong. Continuing, the Australian black economy of unrecorded economic activity that is untaxed by government is estimated to be worth $21 billion or 1.5% of gross domestic product. Even if they got all the taxes that they think they deserve, it would still not solve any problems. We are simply doomed, and the longer governments postpone real reform, the worse the collapse will be. Former KPMG Global Chairman Michael Andrew will head the new Underground Economy Task Force. They have a task force for it, which I suspect is one reason to think twice about KPMG. It will also include the Australian Taxation Office, Reserve Bank of Australia, and Australian Securities and Investment Commission, the Australian Transaction Reports and Analysis Centre, and Immigration and Human Services departments. That was a lot of departments. Continuing, they plan on considering the continued use of $100 note, of which there are 30 billion in circulation. They are also looking to France, a fantastic role model, where the government banned cash payments of over €1,000. The task force is looking at putting a limit on cash transactions, and there are no doubt keeping an eye on how India's cancellation of currency with no notice works out. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi told the nation that the cancellation of the currency would protect the interests of those citizens earning honestly and with hard work. Modi's actions are sending probably more than 400,000 people into unemployment, while shops have closed and they are unable to collect money or pay workers. Now, this is serious stuff. In Australia, because I live in Sydney, Australia, I can see that we are very complacent here. We think that what's happening around the world will not happen in Australia. We are here living in a huge bubble. It's a socialist bubble where we are digging the dirt out of the ground. We're exporting it mostly to China. We're still getting paid for it, and everybody's happy. But that's just not going to last forever. They're going to eventually probably cancel the $100 note. And what's after that? What are they talking about? In the Scandinavian countries, Sweden apparently is to go cashless by within 2 years' time. So think about this. You got the money in the bank, and you go to the bank and you say, I'd like to draw some money, or all of my money. Say you've got $5,000 and you want to draw $5,000 out of the bank account in cash, and they say, I'm sorry, sir, we cannot compute. There is no such thing as cash. We've got digits. You've got digits with us. We can't really give you digits, but if you'd like to buy anything with it, just use our online services. Imagine that. It's your money. You can't put your hands on it. You can buy things that, by the way, the bank and the government, Australian Taxation Office, and everyone else is going to know about it. You can buy things, transact that way, but you just can't get your cash because we don't have cash anymore. I think what's going to happen is not just my opinion, it's through months and months and years of research, I think that people are just going to resort to alternative currencies like Bitcoin, and most importantly, that's when gold and silver are going to take off. The problem with buying property is saying, hey, don't worry about it, I've got, whatever, if you're lucky, $500,000 in the bank, I'm going to buy property. Okay, that'll save you. Not really, especially if that property drops in price. And more importantly, when you buy property, you can't hide it. The government knows about it. It knows what it's worth. We can make up what it's worth and then tax you according to the value of your property. So you can't escape. So they still have you by the you-know-what. So what are you going to do? Wake up, look at alternatives, buy gold, buy silver. That's my educated opinion.